Hello, everybody. This is something new that I've never done on this channel before, but I figured I would give it a shot. So, this is my Slack tutorial for musicians. Slack is a tool that's mainly been used in the business world, entrepreneurs, teams, small business teams, people who work in economics and in the economy. But I just saw it as a really cool tool for musicians, and so when I was digging around trying to find some stuff, I couldn't find anything. So I just said, okay, screw it. I'm going to show you myself. So we're going to open up right into Slack here. I'm going to show you, this is the screen that I was most recently on. So let's get into my general chat here. Now, Slack is, to me, kind of like a hybrid of Facebook Messenger, Discord, and then basically like a platform for running apps all at the same time. I really like it. It also kind of reminds me of like Google Drive or Dropbox. So I would recommend anybody just use this if you're a musician. If you run a band and if you are the band leader, this is something that you are going to want to use. So as you can see, I have multiple projects right here, up at the top left, here and here. These are two different projects that I'm in, and I'll show you this project right now because it's new and nothing's really been posted in here, so I'm not going to be showing private information on here. Now, the first thing is to take a look at this area right here, right where I'm clicking. The right beside where all the bands are, the projects, and this is kind of going to be the main directory where you're going to go. So right in the channel area, channels basically are you can have basically text channels, kind of like Discord, where you have different things for different channels for different topics and different things you're going to be discussing. For example, in the business world, you might have one for general, one for random, one for the marketing department, one for the sales team, all this kind of stuff. For us, since we're musicians, and we're probably trying to get rehearsals together, trying to book gigs, laying out sheet music, all this kind of stuff. That's what we're going to be using them for. So this is my general chat. So if someone someone messages in here, just something random, wants to discuss something with the band, boom, it goes in here. Now we have one for gigs. This is a gig that I recently didn't actually get played, unfortunately, but this is where people can join in here, and we only discuss gigs in here. So hey, I have a gig lined up, or hey, when's our next gig, or all this kind of stuff. The next thing is the rehearsals, which is basically what we have in here, which is a doodle bot that is scheduled us for rehearsals, and we voted for the times we were going to rehearse on. So that was something really cool. Now these bots, I'll show you these bots in a few moments, but the next one is sheet music that I've done. If you're the band leader, you can custom make all these channels. So I made these and I dropped all of them in here, all the sheet music in the sheet music area. I think this is really handy. A lot of bands use Facebook Messenger and such, and then everything gets lost. You go, oh, where's that one song that one demo that we were trying to rehearse with and record, and then you gotta swipe up and scroll up for like an hour, and then you find it in. That's not the case in Slack. You need something, it's right there in the channel that you've needed it to be in. That's why I love it so much. You can add a channel. Let's say if I added one in. This is like channel browser, so they actually have some different channels that you can, like some different templates or presets, and you can browse all the channels that you can join. So if you're not the band leader, let's say if there's a channel that you don't have but you want to join one, you can see, right? Let's say if I forgot to add somebody into a certain channel, boom, they can just go into the channel browser, try to find a channel, and go that way. Next, I want to kind of talk about the direct messages. This is kind of where it reminds me of Facebook a lot, where you just need to chat with someone. You need to go, hey man, can you bring this? Can you bring that certain symbol that you were using? It sounded really sick at the last rehearsal. Or, hey, can you Like, hey man, instead of bringing your acoustic bass, can you bring your electric bass? Or if it's a rock band, we go, hey man, instead of the P bass, can you bring the J bass or something, like that? Or hey, what kind of guitar are you gonna bring? Talking to the right guy. That's where this happens. The next thing here, they always have a Slack bot here. So if you just don't know what happens in here, because this is such an advanced software, just go in Slack bot and go, hey, what is up? Like, what can what do I do here? And it'll help you out. That's huge. And you can actually just remove messages if you just if you just don't message somebody all the time. You can just delete their messages. I actually message all 2 of these people very actively. So once the band will be up and running, and then the next thing is the apps. So the apps are something that you can actually download yourself. You can add them when you're the band leader. You can download a bunch of them. So, for example, we have the Doodlebot and Zoom, but you can also get this thing linked into Google Drive, Google Calendar, Twitter and GitHub, Dropbox, Zendesk, all this crazy stuff. So it's awesome. A lot of these are actually designed mainly for people who working in business and everything, but musicians can find a use for these too. So I use Doodlebot, Zoom, probably gonna get Simple Poll eventually, one of my other bands here. But then when you go into one, you can actually just have all these quick actions because they've actually condensed the software to fit into Slack, which makes it that much easier for you to use. So you can, just boom, create a poll right there, or boom, book a meeting, or you can see everything that's happened. The Zoom, we can actually just use all these right here, these /Zoom meeting topic, boom. So if I need to make a video call with my band, I can go boom, Zoom meeting topic, boom, there's the topic, whatever I want to put it in, and then we can create a time on it later, and then everyone knows that meeting at that day is to discuss something else. This is stuff that's very common in the business world, but musicians have never really latched onto it. We've always just gone for the easy route out so that we can play more music. But in my opinion, when you do stuff like this, you get to play more music. You are more organized. You are ready to go. It's amazing. Now, check this out. If you were to go up in here to the mentions and reacts, this is stuff that's only happened that you've been tagged in or that you have associations with. So let's say that we have a channel just for guitars, and you're the drummer. You don't have nothing to do with the guitars. When they're discussing guitar parts, if the guitar players go into their mentions and reacts, they'll see all the guitar stuff, right? The drummers won't see any of that stuff because they're not on the channel, right? That makes it really easy for you to know what you're associated with and what you're a part of. That's something I really like. Now, check this out. You can filter all this stuff too. Channel mentions can be on here. Reactions and user groups, right? You can filter this. You can dock everything to different sides. You can really customize it, which is really cool. You can check all your history, and you can actually search the entire workspace, which is what this is called here. This is called the workspace. And you actually have your own URL, right? So that's probably one of the coolest parts. If you have Slack, you can create your own workspace. Super easy. It's so free. It's amazing. You can actually see all your analytics too, so you can see how many people are using certain things so that you know what's working for your band. That's the coolest part. Actually, everything is the coolest part, but I can search the whole thing here. Now, one of the best parts is the more section, because you can see all this kind of stuff. You can just see, and everything has a keyboard shortcut too, which is amazing, but you can see that if you have an unread message and you just don't know where it is, you just boom, all unreads, boom. There it is. You're all good. Now it comes up in here, right? Now, the channel browser was up there before, right? Now you can save certain things. So if you're like, oh man, that demo was really, really good, I want to save it for later. Boom, you can save it, and then it comes up later. Just like you could save a Reddit post or a Twitter thing or something. Now, one of my favorite things that I use is the file browser. So any file uploaded to anything here in any channel comes and shows up here. Now that to me is amazing. That's where it reminds me of Dropbox or Google Drive, where you can just find any files anywhere. So if you're like, oh man, what was that one demo and you didn't save it? Let's say you didn't save it. So you find that one demo, and then you're like, oh man, here it is. Oh, I don't remember what channel it was in. Let's just go to the file browser and try to find it. Boom, sort through it all. Mine all happen to be pieces of sheet music right now, but that's just what it is. You can actually sort it between the newest one, and you can sort by file types. So if you know that it's maybe a PDF file, boom, you can just sort it like that. If you know that where it was shared, oh, boom, easy. You can only search the channels that you're part of, all this kind of stuff. It's amazing. That's one of the coolest parts about this whole thing that I really, really like. So now, I just kind of ran through what Slack is, but this is how I lay it out. So the reason that I lay things out like this is because I'm able to access everything super easily. Now, I'm mainly a band leader in a lot of my projects, so I need to be the one in charge of making sure everything runs smoothly. Now, on the other end of it, it also kind of holds people responsible. Let's say I added a channel that was just like a guitar channel, like we said before, right? I'm in the channel browser. Watch this. We search it up. Boom. Guitar. Nothing. Create the channel. Watch this. Boom. Guitar. The description. What do I say? Where guitar parts get discussed. Something like that, right? You can make it private or not. Now, boom, channel's created. It's so easy. I'm not going to add anybody in here right now. Nope. Skip adding people? Yeah, because it's just a demo. So we get in here, and let's say I wanted to add this in, and so now I add all my guitar players, let's say, and then we go, oh, we want to have a guitar rehearsal to set up something. Boom. We can just add the Doodlebot, right? We can just go, okay, when do we want to get together and rehearse? This is where it gets really good. We go shortcuts, right? And now this is all the shortcuts for the channel. So you can set yourself a reminder. You can start a call right there. I'm going to go create a poll. Oh my God, there it is. Specific days, right? So we can say doodle poll. Let's say guitar jam. Location, optional, right? We can add people. It's not an all-day event, but let's say I'm free next Monday at like 2 o'clock, right? And now let's say I'm free. Now the next day I'm free is the next Thursday at like 8:30 p.m. That's the right. So now we got a couple different times. Boom. Create that poll. Ooh, now it's in there. Said it can't be displayed, but now check this out. It was successful. There it is. There's a shareable link right there. And so now, don't forget to share it with your teammates, right? So now I can go boom, copy that. It should be a little easier than this. I don't know why it wasn't displayed, but I can go boom, put that in there. Oh yeah, Doodle Guitar Jam. Now we say we find one. Now we want to book a meeting, right? Now we can add an app. Why don't we just put the Zoom call in? This specific channel, right? So now we add this. We go /Zoom meeting, enter. And it's not letting me do it right now. But it's that simple because you see it pops up here, right? It happens. /Zoom meeting. Amazing. Now what if we went like this maybe? Well, let's find out. That's all right. But that's how simple it is to get this stuff going, and you can just make a channel and go that way. Make it, it's super easy. Well, I'm just gonna basically I'm just gonna delete the channel, permanently delete it, because we don't need it. I don't need it here. Now that's how easy it is to get this going. So that's the reason I love this, is it just keeps everybody responsible, makes it so easy to share your demos and your files with people, your sheet music, all this kind of stuff, and it makes it easy to divvy out responsibility for people. So if I say, hey, there's a gentleman named Toshi in here. Shout out to Toshi Millardo, he's a cool guy. But check this out. If I want, hey Toshi, can you book, do you mind checking out some of the venues you know, see if they're available? I just go like this, boom, at Tosh. Vibin'. You know, that's how easy it is. Then it pings him. I ask him to do it instantly. He does it. You know, maybe not instantly because I'm not sure what he has going on, but he can do that stuff instantly. It's so easy to do this. Now, watch this. You see how many people, see this up here in the top right? That shows how many people in there. Now, in my case, everybody is in here. All 3 members are in here. Includes me, my drum guy, and Toshi. So now we can actually click on here, and I can actually add more people if I want to, or I can click on somebody and remove them if I wanted to. I can also add people right there. Now you want to see the channel details right there. Look at that. You can call the channel right there. The about channel, the members in it. What kind of shortcuts do we got? Do we got any pinned messages? Let's say if we have a pinned message that says, hey, in gigs, say, hey, here's our next gig. Boom, I can pin it. Whenever somebody goes to the gigs, it's at the top, ready to go, like Twitter. So amazing, honestly. I can't believe it. These are all the files in this exact folder. So if we have demos in one, sheet music in another, we can just go to sheet music and check out the files right there on the side. It makes it so easy. It blows my mind. The last thing I'm going to show you is this. There's a help feature here. If you really don't know what's going on, or you want to master the keyboard shortcuts, there you go. It's up at the top. And this is your status. So let's say if you're going away, you're going spending some time with your partner or something, you can just be not here. And that's for all channels. That's just for everything. You can see in the top right, my it hasn't changed. So now I'm not here. I'm not in work. I'm not working right now. You can pause your notifications, which is awesome. You can also set up a notification schedule, which is a new feature. I didn't know that. I'm probably going to use that. You can set up your own profile, all this kind of stuff. You can personally sign out of this if you want to, or you can update your status. So if someone's like, if you say, hey, like I'm working on guitar parts as we speak, or all this kind of stuff, then people can just look and know that that's what your project is or something. That's crazy. You can add your own workspace, all this kind of stuff. That is Slack for musicians. I think everybody should be into it. I think everybody should just do it. It's really one of the greatest things that I've ever come across. They have an app for, mobile device, tablet. This is an app for Mac, actually, instead of just a web browser, which is really cool. But everybody should be into it. So, if you didn't already know, what would be awesome? Let's get a new sticky in here. You know what would be really cool? Is if you dug this, like it up. If you want to see more little tutorials about my technology approach to music, let me know. If you want to see more songs, if you want to smash that like button, as they say, or that sub button, subscribe. There's a notification bell as well, all that kind of stuff. Just keeps you in the loop with what I'm doing. Thanks for hanging out. I super appreciated this. If you have any questions, let me know. Anything that you think I should be doing, let me know. Stay tuned.